So today in this video, we're going to be talking about the new F1 game, F1 24, because I think this game should have been delayed to instead of it coming out May 31st. This game definitely should have been delayed. Because for those who don't know, like I love Formula One. I've watched it for a very long time, pretty much since I was like 4 years old, because my dad introduced me to it, and obviously. Now I've got, when I got an Xbox and a PlayStation 5, I've picked up all Formula 1 games on nearly pretty much launch since 2018. So I do love Formula 1 games, but ever since the peak of F1, which is 2020, my favourite F1 game, and is widely considered one of the best F1 game, if not the best F1 game ever made, they've just been going on a decline because 2021 was fine. It was just a little cosmetic update for 2020 really, and includes the Breaking Point story mode as well. And then 2022 came along, and that F1 game just complete fucking nosedive. So much so that I went back to playing F1 2020 for majority of that game's life cycle. I did not, that was because of a handling model, which, shock horror, is another problem with F1 2024, or 24, I should say. And then F1 23, while I loved it, I loved the handling model, and I did actually quite enjoy it, there was fuck all in the game. They didn't, update, improve anything. They didn't change my team a little bit. Because there was no changes, I played driver career mode first rather than my team. And then obviously with F1 24, when they announced that, Drive Crew was being overhauled, that actually got me quite excited, because I'm a career mode player. I can't fucking stand playing with... I'm a big multiplayer hater. I don't like playing online games really at all. I just don't. That's just me. So I'm more of a solo guy, which is why, the career mode and like my team appeals so much to me, because, either, create your own, your own driver and drive for like Ferrari and all that, or you drive for, you can create your own team and do it that way. But let's get into the problems at F1 24, shall we? And we'll start with the biggest problem. It's the handling model. I think that F1 23 that was actually a pretty decent handling model, because, well, anything was better than fucking F1 22. But F1 23, I actually really liked, and I thought we were just going to get to a point where, like, look, they've got, a good solid handling model now. Let's just build upon that, which they did, I think, throughout, like, from, like, 2016 game all the way through to, probably like 2020, because I think 2020, again, I'm going back to F1 2020, but probably had the best handling, the best feel of the cars, I feel, as well. Because the problem with, there's a few things wrong with the 2024 handling model. Also, prefaces, I play on controller. I don't have the space for a wheel, nor do I personally want to get a wheel. I'm a controller player, so this is coming from me as a controller player, not a wheel. So yeah, as a controller player, like I did a Twitter thread on this. Like, I like the handling at high when you're going through high speed corners. So like Saudi Arabia, the car feels good pretty much all around that track. And like I think like the S's at Suzuka, they're very fine as well. What I'm not really a big fan of is when you're going through low speed, so because the car just doesn't feel right, mainly because it's a very pointy front end that you've got, because you can definitely tell Max Verstappen had a hand in consultancy on this game, because he likes a pointy front end, and my god, does this game have a pointy front end. Which, as a controller player, I've seen some ridiculous things with what wheel players can do, where they can turn in so much and still gain a load of time. You almost like you're drifting through a bloody corner. That's another thing. I also think you have too much grip, which I think is personally playing a big problem with the AI as well. But yeah, I think you've got way too much grip. You don't get, like F1 22 and 23, you didn't get like those snaps of oversteer. You couldn't, you can basically just in the on the exit of a corner, just pull the trigger down on the accelerator. We weren't able to do that on 23. You had to gradually just slowly build up, and then when you find, you just learn it, and it's very arcadey. I know everyone's posted, who's played the game. It definitely is a lot like F1 2011's career mode. So we've gone back what was that, 13 years? No, 12 years, whenever that game came out. I can't maths. It just feels like you've gone all the way back to 2011 with that handling model. So yeah, and now I want to talk about another problem. That's the main complaint is the handling model. But another problem, because I'm a career mode player, is the AI. The AI are fucking... I just don't even know what to call it. So let's go for it. I think we've gone back to the problem with F1 22, but it's different, because in F1 22, the AI for the first, before they patched it, for the first 2 weeks, they were so OP going out of corners. So OP. If you ever remember what they were like, the AI could get on the power so much more earlier than you, because you just end up spinning the car around, which made it impossible to keep up. But now with the 2020, the F1 24 game, they're OP with the ERS, because I don't know if that's good because they've given us back the hot light and the battery charging mode that was previous. I think the last time was 2019. I don't know if it's to do with that, but I think there's something up with their battery charging as well with the ERS, because it seems like they can deploy a lot more, or they just they're able to charge the battery more, which means as a player, we have to dump more into the overtake, which means that we have to charge up more, but then they still overtake us. But another problem with that is I feel that the AI, they're far too passive. They're not going for moves unless they're DRS moves. So they're not going into moves in the corners. They're not going for, in turn one at Spa, for example. They're not making moves around there. I've had situations where they could easily make a move into the corner, but they don't. They just ram in. They just, like NASCAR, they just bump draft you. It's really, really annoying. Another problem as well with the AI, they're not making any mistakes. I don't know if that's because of the new handling model and that as a player we have a load of grip. I don't know if it's because of that. I'm not a game developer, but I've had I'm halfway through my first season in driver career mode. I've had no yellow flags. I've had no safety cars. I have no VSCs. And obviously because of that, you're obviously not going to get a fucking red flag either. The only, because I watched other YouTubers play the game, the only person I have seen with a yellow flag or a red flag is, however, when he was racing at Monaco, because the Monaco hairpin was blocked. It's the only time, and not only that, but another thing that I liked when they introduced in 2021 is you could get mechanical failures alongside the AI. The AI aren't getting mechanical failures, and we're not getting random mechanical failures either. We're not even getting like those just little things where it's just your ERS, you had a problem with the ERS, or you can't use your DRS, or your DRS is stuck open, you've got a pit. You're not getting anything like that either. Another problem is wet weather driving, which I don't, with wet weather driving, I don't really care about wet weather driving in the games, but when it impacts the AI, it's a big problem. I experienced this my first fucking race in was it Formula, when you can choose to do Formula 2. My first race was a wet feature race, and you could not select. It was pouring down. You could not select wet tyres, and you started on dries. But I think that's been patched now, or at least that was a hotfix. But also the AI, they didn't switch to wet tyres, and I was able to catch them up. Took me nearly the whole race, but I eventually caught them up. and I just did a race of Spa, they took fucking forever to go onto intermediates, and I almost won the race in a Haas. Probably shouldn't be fucking happening. So, yeah, and another problem with these games as well, they just keep on taking stuff away. Like, 2020, they had a load of classic cars. Where'd they all fucking go? Because they all went after F1 2021. And then with F1 22, they replaced it with fucking supercars because, you know, when I want to play a Formula 1 game, I want to just drive a muscle, I want to drive a Ferrari 458 or an Aston Martin safety car or the Mercedes safety car. No, I play F1 games to race Formula 1 cars. If I want to do that, I will go play fucking Forza or Gran Turismo. So, yeah, because obviously last year they focused on fucking, was it F1 World or F1 Life? That's pretty much almost gone. Like, because, again, with no one gave a shit. They, I don't want to upgrade, I don't want to spend a load of money because, again, actually, this is a good point. Ever since EA bought Codemasters, the games have been fucking shit. Well, not exactly, they've just been on the decline. That pretty much says it all, because F1 2021, they had, Codemasters were, when EA bought Codemasters, they were halfway through the development of F1 2021, so they couldn't put all the, the little things that EA like to do in their games, like microtransactions, although that was in there for 2020, so you could buy skins for the My Team car and all the suits and the helmets and all that, which is fine. That's perfectly fine. But, look, we're going to a point where free stuff in the Podium Pass, that was in F1 23, you have to pay for it in F1 24. So, yeah, basically ever since EA have bought Codemasters, F1 games have been on the decline. Like, which, the peak at F1 2020, and now we're sort of like, I think our lowest point was F1 22 when that came out. And I think F1 23 was such a good baseline to start building these games up again. But unfortunately, with F1 24, I think we've just taken a slow, not as big of a decline as F1 22, but I don't think it's that far off. But I do have hope because EA have said that they are fixing the handling model. But again, we'll have to see what that's like when we come out. And I also have addressed the AI issues in My Team and Driver Korea. I'm not going to speak on multiplayer because, as I said, I'm a career mode player. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about this because I love Formula 1. I love playing the F1 games, but the state of F1 games is bad when I'd rather play NASCAR Rivals on my Switch than the new F1 game that's just come out. So yeah, hope you enjoy this video. Feel free to like it if you liked it, disliked it if you disliked it. And if you like this video, check out some other content. And if you like my other content, feel free to subscribe. See you in the next video. Goodbye.